Hey everyone, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to turn 50 of Pokemon Gold, where we are playing Cyanwood City. Let's jump into the turn. So, a whole bunch of stuff going on. We'll do our normal drop through the list and go back and see anything important. So, starting off, we were very successful. So this was a targeted Dark Knowledge. We had a very sneaking suspicion that there were death sites there because that has been a death province since the very beginning of the game for us. Battlefield gets us one death gem. A Well of Pestilence gets us one death gem. Nice. We, I think in a single cast, we just went from 3 to 5 death gems per turn, I believe. So that's pretty good. Next up, we are actually successful with a Haruspex for once. Got a Grove of Evergreen, which is awesome. So that's a +1 to our nature gems. Nothing with Gnome Lore, nothing with Arcane Probing, nothing with Voice of Apsu, nothing with Auspex, but we did get an Augury, which this, I believe, is a twofer. So if we go take a look. Gold, no, yeah. So this is 2 fire gems. So this single province, the Great Dunes, with the Throne of Fire and this gold leaf tree, is a 4 fire gems per month. That's pretty nice. Not going to complain about that. So, unrest increasing in Saffron City. If we actually take a look at it, we're sitting at 14 unrest now, so we're going to have to keep that under control. We are patrolling with the Robodan, so hopefully that will go down. Lost a unit, got attacked. Okay, so we're into the battles. Got attacked in Iron Peaks, lost. Got attacked in Trouble Bog, lost. Got attacked in World Pillar, lost. We won in Titan Steps. We won in Ministra. We won, lost in Berman Highs. Okay. We lost in Windsong Forest. Basically, we jumped into a place where they either stuck around or were moving. Which, so this was a good example of kind of like what happens with, we'll go and watch this. This is a good example of what happens with one of those raiding parties actually encountering something. And that is that typically we will kill some stuff. But this isn't really a very good trade for us. And the reason for that is because these fortresses are immortal. So they just, they're just gonna reappear in his cap. And these guys are actually, like, again, so Olivine City, this is specific to them, I believe, but Pinecos normally are not sacred units. These fortresses and their Pinecos are sacred because they are sacred units for Olivine City. So these guys are actually really tough. Very high protection, pretty low hit points, right? Only 10 hit points. So if you get a solid hit on them, they basically pop. But pretty high protection, and they regenerate. So these guys are kind of an interesting little fighting force. The explosion helps wipe out big mobs. They're immortal, right? So this is not a new layer that we have to worry about, but this is another layer to Olivine City that we got to worry about. So another thing about. Then so we had that in Windsong Forest. We were attacked in Three Pine Grove, but we were there, so we stomped them, killed the shit out of them. We got attacked in Junal Forest and lost. We attacked in Niffle and won. We got attacked in Kratos and lost. And we got attacked in Gnome Peaks and lost. And so this is actually the very important, interesting battle. The rest of them are relatively not important. We'll be right back with that, though. So we've got some nature gems in Wellrid. We got some fire gems and air gems in Viridian City from a magical bird of wondrous colors. Very cool. What is this? Oh, we discovered a lass in Cyanwood City. So this is their spy trying to do some work. Get rid of that. Fixed some battle afflictions and some diseases, did some patrolling, got some levels. Okay, so we're going to head back to this Gnome Peaks one. This is a very important battle. We sniped a schoolgirl, which is nice, right? But that's kind of irrelevant. What is relevant, what's very, very relevant, is this is Olivine City's god. This is Rock, Paper, Flamethrower, the shiny Groudon. And he's pretty beastly. Not the least of which because he has some pretty nice magic paths. Fire, Earth, Nature. Has a little bit of gear. Some very high protection, some very high regeneration. Very high regeneration, mind you. With a decent hit point pool to kind of back it all up. And a billion attacks. Because of the Dancing Trident and the Horned Helm. So he gets Gore, he gets a Dancing Trident. He's already got his Precipice Blades, his Hammer Arm, he's got his Fire Blast, his Solar Beam. This guy is kind of crazy. Very, very cool. And he has this, he has a permanent, this is a very interesting thing I think about the mod, right, is Titan chassis like this, or, I don't know if these count as Titan chassis. Probably not. So I think some Titan chassis and then some, I guess this would be like an Awake Pretender or a Monster, right? They have different abilities, right? And this particular one has a consistent, like, automatically active Heat from Hell, which is really cool. That's actually really, really cool. So we can flip through this real quick. So he tempers flesh. He gets lucked. He gets he summons Earth Power. He gets Body Ethereal cast. Right. We pop. Actually, we don't even do this. I think he kills the schoolgirl on his own because he just burns her to death. Right. Because he's just standing next to her. So, so that's kind of a little unfortunate, right, for him. But why is this important? It's important because this god's potentially killable, and he has an incarnate bless. Natural protection. This is hard skin, right? And regeneration are incarnate blesses. If we kill Rock, Paper, Flamethrower, Olivine City loses his ace in the hole. He loses his +5 protection, which makes the Steelixes almost impossible to hurt outside of conventional means, or outside of unconventional means. And the regeneration goes away. So all of the chip damage matters. We could potentially kill Rock, Paper, Flamethrower this turn. So we're gonna quit this. We're gonna quit this replay, and we're gonna talk about that. And we'll do our normal thing. Like after I get done talking about this, we'll go back through and we'll take a look at all of the different fronts. But this is by far the most important decision that's gonna be made for a while. And that is this could be bait. This absolutely could be bait. Previously in the chat, Mares or Mares, I'm not sure how they pronounce their moniker, made an offhand comment about how Olivine City, that's them, they were having to deal with magic phase attacks now. I have yet to magic phase them once. I have access to it, right? But I haven't done it a single time so far. This could be bait. This absolutely could be bait. He might have put his god out there in an attempt to bait me into magic phasing the god. And he could do any number of things. He might be confident that his god is going to win a magic phase fight. He might be planning to just retreat his god, right? It's easy peasy, no big deal, retreat his god, and then bring in an army to try to smash whatever I magic phase with, right? it could be any number of things. Or it could be that the raiding that I was doing consistently, the pressure that I'm putting on him, he's running low on resources, so he's having to try to make use, or he wants to try to make use of what he has. And his god is very strong. He is still pretty deep in his own territory, right? And in theory, he hasn't fought anything here. So he might not realize how close these golems are. You know? At the end of the day, I've spent quite a bit of time debating back and forth. Is this bait? Is it not bait? If it is bait, is it still worth going for it? If it's not bait, is it worth going for it? Right now, the last couple turns, I feel like I'm definitely winning the war now. It's slow progression, and it's going to take for fucking ever, right? But I am winning. This is an opportunity to escalate the pace of the war incredibly quickly. The problem is it worth the cost? I do not think that one golem is going to be successful against his god. He has too many attacks. The golems hit very hard, yes. But the Groudon is actually... I don't want to just click the thing because it's not a very good representation. The Groudon actually has decent protection, decent defense, good attack skill, unlike the Golem, and unlike the Steelixes, right? The Steelixes have abysmal defense and abysmal attack skill. So, this thing is actually going to be able to put up a fight. I don't think... I think 2 golems can kill him, right? I think he might still kill one of the golems if I send 2. He might kill both. I don't know. But after really thinking about it for a long time, I actually think that I don't like it, but I think that this is worth trying, even if it's bait, even if I lose. Right? Even if I kill, if both of these golems get killed and I lose all of the gems that are put into them, this is a ring of sorcery, by the way, because I've been dumb, and I have not been spending my astral pearls like I should have after getting up to the 3 golems that I wanted. I've been doing other shit, and I should have been forging more crystal coins or starshine skullcaps, but I haven't. So I have left myself with very few options as far as magic phasing. So I have to risk a ring of sorcery to get 2 golems to this Groudon. And I've sat here and really thought about sending in Chuck as well. And the only problem that I have with sending in Chuck is Chuck has way too few hit points. If Chuck gets hit by a single thing, he dies. This is all extremely dicey. And next turn, I'm going to do this. And next turn, I might just be missing 2 golems and a whole shit ton of gear. But, realistically, if that happens, that's not the end of the game for me. If that happens, it hurts. It's a pain in the ass. But most of this gear is ridiculously replaceable. 1 gem, 1 gem, 1 gem. I think, yeah, 1 gem. Okay, the Boots of Quickness aren't 1 gem. They're 6 gems. But I have 97 Water Gems. I don't give a shit, right? The Gate Cleaver sucks, right? Because that's 11 Earth Gems, and I'm so fucking starved for Earth Gems right now. The Crystal Coin will suck, right? But let's be honest, the real thing here is 60 Astral Pearls on a Ring of Sorcery. If I lose that, that's gonna hurt. But I've got 13 Astral Pearls per turn. It's not gonna hurt that bad. It's gonna be annoying, but I can come back from it. I'm not sure he can come back from this. If I kill this Groudon, If I kill his god, fucking Zinville's walking to his cap. Chuck is probably walking to the nearest fucking fort. I should be able to, at that point, just full on invade. Because the difference in losing that 5 protection and the regeneration it's immense. It's just immense. So I feel like I have to do it. I feel like, regardless of whether or not this is bait, this is an opportunity that I have to try to take, because if I win, if it goes successful, then this is gonna potentially be a windfall, a landslide for me, right? And if I fail, that sucks. But so what, right? I can still easily make more golems. I can still easily get another ring of sorcery, you know? So that's the plan. We are sending in Zarin and Norag. We're keeping their regular script, the body ethereal, resist magic, astral shield, and we're doing that because there's the chance, again, if this is bait, that he PD dumps, right? And we want them to have the best chance of being successful. This is actually going to put a lot of fatigue on them. That's one of the things that I don't like about this script. But because of their very high fire resistance, I'm hoping that it's not going to matter as much. That's another reason why I'm okay sending the golems instead of Chuck. Chuck only has like 5 fire resistance. So the golems basically completely negate the fire blast attack. They pretty much completely negate the heat from hell, right? And their ethereal will protect them from hammer arm and precipice blades. They have higher armor than the dancing trident, right? So that'll do some chip damage. And the gore is right out about there, and it will also do some chip damage, right? Solar Beam has a pretty low chance of doing much damage. Okay, it is armor piercing, but so in theory, I think I think if I can close with the Groudon with both of the golems, I think we can kill him. If he PD dumps, that's going to complicate matters. If he has a magic phase in here, that's going to complicate matters. If this was all bait and he just runs, that's going to complicate matters. But I think it's worth trying to do. Okay, so from there, we're going to talk real quick about all of the rest of the fronts. The Olivine City front, we're bouncing around, doing a bunch of attacks here or there. We've lost a couple of raiding groups. / had to pull them back for resupply, basically. Falco is still going strong. Falco has consistently been able to keep going, but he is starting to get whittled down. He's also pretty high up, right? So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to send Falco on one more attack into the Banded Hills, and if he is successful, then the next turn we're probably going to be sending him down to Violet City or over here towards Saffron City, and with the eventual goal of sending him back to Cyanwood to pick up new guys, because we have fresh raiders that are coming out, and Falco being able to actually lead 25 flyers is kind of a bigger deal now, so we're going to go potentially pick up some stuff. We're also attacking with Wigglia, just trying to keep the pressure on. We're continuing to preach, continuing to instill uprises where we can, etc. So moving from the Olivine City front, right, into the Saffron City front, we are doing a couple of different things. The main thing is we are still patrolling with Robodan with the purpose of finishing off the Steelix champion. We have a series of items ready to go for this Steelix champion. If he is an Earth 6, we will promptly be marching him to Cyanwood City, where he will stay for the rest of eternity. If he is an Earth 5, I might actually use, because we don't have the Earth gems to do the things I want to do right now. If he's an Earth 5, I might actually just send him out with this gear. Even though I could turn the Earth 5 into an Earth 6 and then cast like things like Earthblood Deepwell, I'm going to continue recruiting these Steelixes for a while. So if he's not an Earth 6, he's just getting items and he's going to go. This is the next step of the phase. I've thought about it for a while. You know, is it fair to use the super combatant chassis that has been used against me to great effect? Is it fair to kit them the fuck out when they shouldn't have all of the items slots that they have? Probably not. No, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, truth be told, I think I might be getting attacked shortly. I think Atlantis might attack me here in the near future. They've not had good luck invading Ekritik, right? And they're not really gaining benefit from invading Ekritik. So I think they're invading Vermilion, and I think after that, I think they're gonna look at me. So I am in that mode where I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is a little busted, sure. But I've been having to deal with it. Someone else might as well have to deal with it as well. So we're gonna see how that goes. We're also moving Urborn out. We've taken the Amulet of Resilience off of him and put a Ring of Regeneration on him. He's going out to a fight in Berman Highs. Zenville is also going out to fight in Berman Highs. Like I said, if this works, right? Zenville's marching to fucking Olivine City. It's gonna be bop, bop, bop. Or to Greenwall, one or the other. But more than likely, he's marching to Olivine City. I think that's definitely a potential worthwhile. He has a fair chunk of siege strength. He's got a pretty chunky, tanky crew. I think that would probably work. He might eventually die, but I think the damage that he would do would be extreme enough to the point to where I wouldn't be super worried afterwards. So we're doing that. Zephyron is actually moving upwards towards Saffron City. We've patrolled this down enough to where we're making income again off of the Great Gold Mine, which is all I really wanted to do. He's going to go pick up these extra units here, and then he's probably going to turn towards the Woodlands and go ahead and snag that. And we are making a black belt here, and we're making a battle girl in Omicria, right? And we want that battle girl probably to get ready to set something up in the Great Dunes. We want to try to start getting some forts on our thrones as we move from into the late mid game and into the early late game, basically. So that's about it. So continuing, I'm not going to go over this every time. We're continuing to do our site searching left and right, so that's going to keep happening. In Violet City, we've kind of already talked about what's going on there. Another thing, aside from the teleports, we're actually moving. We're moving and patrolling here, as we're supposed to be doing, just to see if we can catch someone out on Kunal. And we're gonna move into the Spires of Ascension with Chuck. We're gonna start trolling around in the Violet City area, kind of the same way that we did with the Saffron City area. We want to exert pressure and try to control the space, but also if we are successful here in Gnome Peaks, I might just hit Lost Canyon range and go from there, right? I just want to be in position to respond and see how it goes. So moving down to Viridian City, we're doing a couple of different things. Up here in Kunal, we're patrolling with Yazar because I think we might get attacked in Three Pine Grove again. And that is mostly it. In Viridian City, we've got more money. Our income is the highest it has ever been. We take a look at it, highest it's ever been, highest in the game again. So we're actually getting a fair chunk of change every turn. We're gonna start putting that back into researchers, casters into shield white belts and into prodigy white belts. So we are continuing to do that. Trying to see if there was anything crazy that was happening this turn. No, not really. I think we're moving Ekkas back to try to get some more units, and we're moving Koma back just because I want to be able to bounce around. So we'll see how it goes. All right, from there, we're counter raiding in Kratos. We're counter raiding in Junal Forest. In Impassable Mountains, we're getting 2 more Black Belt Goes. I think this might be the last of the Black Belt Go rounds, but we'll see. I think the raiding that we've been doing is, one, it's freeing up some of our upkeep, because eventually those raiding parties get killed and we don't have to pay for them anymore. But two, it's doing damage to Olivine Cities. He's having to focus more on raiding his territory back. He's actually, we cut back together, right? So his counter raiding is being effective. So we're no longer eking up, but that's okay, right? We're going to have ebbs and flows in this type of scenario. But we're also recruiting more Mareeps. And again, this is going to go back to that scenario of hopefully we're going to recruit a full round of Mareeps every turn. In the near future, I would love to get a university out here in Impassable Mountains so that we could get the Mareep factory back fully online. Also, most of our Mareeps, we've put a good dent in healing up our Mareeps. So I think just a few more turns and we will be back in the positive there. So that's very good. In Cyanwood City, we have a couple different things going on. Nothing super crazy, but we've got 3 different goes that we are all moving out to different areas. Little flying units, a bunch of Alakazams, etc. So that's good. We are forging a couple of different things, mostly basic equipment. We're doing our at least 1 Lightless Lantern, at least 1 Owl Quill combo per turn. And now we're actually doing more Pokeballs, though. So we're doing some Pokeballs, Quick Ball. We're continuing to forge water bracelets, and that is about it. We're also forging a crystal coin. Because I've been very lax in the last couple turns. I don't want to say lax. It's not like Cameron, the photographer, wasn't doing stuff. I was doing stuff with them every turn, but I wasn't always doing the smart thing. And leaving my golems without an easy option to swap gear to Magic Phase attack was really stupid. I should have, as soon as I got back up to the point to where I was comfortable with my Astral Pearl pool, I should have immediately started making more crystal coins, or more specifically, the better plan, right, is, because crystal coins are expensive, I should have been making Starshine Skullcaps for the golems. So, actually, I should do that. No. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm making a crystal coin in case I lose the crystal coin so that I can use it on Cameron, the photographer. That's why I'm making another crystal coin. It's not like the crystal coin won't be useful. So that is the plan there. And I think that is mostly it for the turn. We have a whole lot of movement going on. We are doing a whole lot of things. We are making an extremely risky maneuver here. But again, I think at the end of the day, I think this is well worth it. If we lose this, which is entirely possible, it's gonna suck, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal. If we win it, I think that's game, set, and match for fucking Olivine City. It's gonna take a while, don't get me wrong. They still have, the Steelixes are still very strong, and they still have plenty of them in the field. But his research is abysmal. He doesn't have, we go to army size, he doesn't have a big army, right? This is his plan. His plan is big-ass Steelixes. If we take Rock, Paper, Flamethrower out of the equation, I think we just rush him and win. And then squash the pieces as they come up and go from there. So yeah, this is gonna be very dicey. It's gonna be very scary. And it's almost entirely because for this, right? For the Steelixes, they just don't have the kill threat against the golems. But rock paper flamethrower does. So this is a DPS race now. This is scary. But this is also I want to throw this out there. This is what makes Dominions one of the best games I have ever played. Is moments like these, right? Where you look at a turn and you see something and you're just like, if this works, then that's gonna be awesome, right? So yeah, that's about it. That's really all I have to say on that one. Fingers crossed. I'll see you all next time.